Joe Knows South Lake would like to thank the following sponsors. And welcome back. Once again, always good to hear from the sponsors. They are one of the things that I am truly grateful for. So I want to welcome my friend Lee Tran. Lee,
Hi, Joe.
How are you? Lee has an amazing story. I was just telling Lee earlier, one of the coolest things about doing this is finding out the deeper levels and the higher achievements of people you thought you knew. And so I am very grateful to be able to do this for people. I'm grateful to have Lee here with me today.
I'm honored to be here. Thank you for inviting.
Now, Lee, I knew Lee through another work position that she had, which she's recently transitioned out of, and we're going to talk about that. But Lee, about a year ago, you did that talk, right?
January.
Was that a year?
Yeah,
January. So not quite a year.
Don't forget we were in the chamber ambassador together.
That's right. We had a relationship.
Right.
We have a relationship through that. I'm one of the chamber ambassadors, and so is she. But a year ago, she did this TED Talk that talked about her story and where she came from and how she got here. So we're going to dig into some of that, but we only have 15 minutes. So
yeah.
The good part is my friend is an author and a speaker. The book that she's writing, her memoirs, is called "I Did Not Miss the Boat." She was a research chemist for Merck Company. I don't know if all that education. Can you teach me how to talk?
It's Monday.
It is Monday. She is an entrepreneur and owned.
Yes, I own Distinctive Design, which is a interior decorating specified in window treatment.
Okay, and she has a BS, Bachelor of Science from Villanova University. And she is a quintessential American. Okay?
I am.
And while she is, her heritage, she was born in Vietnam, she has an amazing story. And when I think of somebody who's an American, Lee sits up there with those that have made the sacrifice, those that have come here and done what it took to get to where she needed to go without making excuses. And that is a lot of the reason why she's sitting here now. Lee, I'm so glad to have you here. Can you start us out by telling us a little bit about your family and how you originally got to America?
Okay. Well, first of all, I want to say I'm a very proud American, and I wouldn't settle anything less than that. But originally, it's a long story. So my grandparents, both sides of grandparents were from China. And they moved to Vietnam when the big famines in China back in the 30s and the 40s before the World War. So my dad moved to Vietnam when he was 3 years old. And so a lot of tragic things happened with my dad's family as well. So at 10 years old, he lost his father, and he has to help his mom and build from startup. So he was a self-made man, and he built up himself to have a company, a fabric dye company, and we were pretty well off. We're not rich, but we were doing okay. So 40 years later, my dad repeat his parents' story. He has to fled Vietnam because of the communists. So at 43, and my youngest brother was 3. So I'm the oldest of 5. So I'm the oldest. I was 16 at the time. My youngest brother was 3.
So this is 1979. I think we have a picture of your dad's immigration papers there.
Yes, that was right before we got accepted to America, and everybody got to have a headshot. It looked like jail time, It was like a mugshot. But that is something that I have not seen for a long time until I dig out all the information so I can write my book, and I'm looking at it, it's like, wow, that 16 years old girl is now somebody really old.
You could never tell.
Anyhow, so we came here in 1980. We get out of Vietnam in 1979 through a lot of harrowing story in the journal of 7 days on the boat, which we didn't know where we were heading. And we just, like 500 people cram in the little boat, and we just sail out to the China
Well, I think
Sea.
we have a picture here.
That's not our picture. That's
Right,
just something I grabbed from the internet, just so people get a little bit of a image what it's like. And
I want to encourage people too. You did this TED Talk is available on YouTube.
Yes, on
and
YouTube.
If you can hear a little bit more about Lee's story, a little more detail about the family backstory and how she got here by going there.
Yes, if you go into YouTube or even TEDx, just search for Lee Tran, and the title is "I Did Not Miss the Boat." So I didn't miss the boat. That's why I'm here.
So tell us a little bit about your time as a refugee.
So we got to the camp for 8 months, 5 different camps in Indonesia, and then we got sponsored by a Lutheran church in Minnesota. So we were there, and that's where I learned truly the American tradition, lifestyles, and people that opened their arms to welcome us. And it was a great story. It's a great place, but we kind of trapped because my parents couldn't speak the language. And once he heard that there's a Chinatown in Pennsylvania, next thing we know, we're heading on the bus and we're going to find Chinatown.
Where was that? Philadelphia?
Yes,
Yeah,
it was
Philly.
Philadelphia. So we were there.
Did you speak English yet at that
No,
point?
no.
I mean, you're still a little girl.
Yeah,
you
I
know.
spoke 3 different dialects in Chinese, and I spoke Vietnamese, and I had like 3-4 years of French, but not English. So English is actually the 6th language that I'm learning. And yeah, and I have to learn quick. I have to learn fast. I went everywhere with my big dictionary, and that's how I talk to people. And when we get to Pennsylvania, and next thing we know, on blink of an eye, I was in Pennsylvania for 35 years. And 4 years ago, we decided to move down here.
So let's backtrack a minute. You went to, you're in Philadelphia. You graduate high school. You learn English, obviously, which is what? 6 languages now. You learn. I love
they all
learning new
have
things
bucket.
about
I'm
my
sorry.
friends.
None of them are really good, but I'm proud that I can speak some.
You could go get a cup of coffee in
I
a
could
lot of
definitely
countries.
do that. I could definitely do that.
And so you go to Villanova.
I went to Villanova. Yep.
Okay, and then you join the corporate world,
Yes.
right? You
Yes.
worked for Merck.
Yes, I think the first 10 years was the toughest 10 years in my life because
Is this a picture of you?
that was me at Wyeth. That's when I started being a chemist, and that was me with the poofy hair in the 80s.
Even my wife had big hair in the 80s. It's okay, Lee.
Yeah, it's fun.
So you spend a few years in the corporate world.
Yes.
35 years.
No,
No,
35 years. I live in Pennsylvania.
You live in Pennsylvania. So,
I worked 2 years at Wyeth and 15 years at Merck.
so you 15 years in the corporate world. You've gone up the chain, I'm sure.
Yes.
You get this regular paycheck, and one day you get it into your head to give up all of that, the benefits, the advancement, the money,
Yeah.
the regular paycheck, and you decide to open Distinctive Designs.
Yes. And that was a really scary move. And especially, I was really lucky. I worked with a team of research scientists that are super smart. And they are so dedicated. And one of the compounds that come out of my hood was actually a drug that became a drug that could treat AIDS and the AIDS epidemic in the 90s. So I was really proud of that, and it's a lifetime achievement for a lot of people who wanted that. And I can't say that it's my invention. I just have a little part in it, but very proud. That little part was from dedication and from hard work. So I decided that.
So let me ask you, what was it that made you make the jump? I mean, it's
Yes.
not like you went into business for yourself as a research chemist or as a consultant on chemistry. You made a jump from chemistry to
right
design.
brain, left brain,
How did
Okay,
you?
let me tell you something.
How did you overcome? I mean, I can only imagine how scary that was.
Well, I love being a scientist. I love my chemistry degree, but it wasn't my first choice. I did that because of security. I did that because financial obligation, because everybody lots of immigrants and refugees will come here. They want to be like something in the stature and something that would bring a steady income to their home. And I have to say, sometimes things that you do well may not be the things that you love. You do well because you just kind of do well.
Yeah.
But
A lot
anyway,
of experience or
well,
knowledge in the
I'm
field.
standing inside the hood, looking out the window every day and wonder what is life out there. I want to be free. I want to meet people. Being a research chemist is great, but it's for people who want solitude, like just doing things with the hood, with the chemical.
It wasn't igniting your passion.
I am a people person, and I didn't know that I can be exploring life outside that. So I've learned a lot, and then it was just a lot of, it was almost like 6 months of sleeplessness that I've contemplated about. Should I do it? Should I do it? And
So
I
how
know
did
that
you
they
make
have
the
a big.
decision?
I know they have a big layoff, and I got told by some of the nice friends from the higher up, and they say that they were going to have a severance. So I was like, oh, I'm calculating out. I would get 10 months of severance. I could take that money and build up my business, but I already learning and doing my things on the side already. So it was not hard to, I just need time to channel into what I love. And finally I ripped the Band-Aid and I did it. And no looking back.
Is that your advice? Just rip off the Band-Aid?
Well, sometimes if you know something.
Do you wish you hadn't spent that 6 months worried about it?
No. It has to be the right timing. It's got to be the calculated risk. You can't just say, okay, I want to do that and not thinking about the security, the planning.
How am I going to pay my rent, my car payment, right?
Yeah. I am the very careful person, and I'm the most, I would say, not risk taker person. And when I do something, I really contemplate about plan A, and B, C,
I think
just to make
financial
sure.
people call that risk averse. You are averse to taking risks.
Right, well.
So you open up this business. You specialize in
Custom window treatment.
Did you start with when you say custom window treatment? Do you mean like in a home?
I make drapes. I make balances, and I know to sew. I sew when I was like this big. I love to make make clothes. I love fashions, but I like dressing window because they don't talk back. They don't say, "Oh, it's just I look too fat on this." So
I love that. That is going to go down in Jono Southlake quotes. I love dressing windows because they don't talk back.
They don't talk back. Seriously. I mean, they look good all the time.
My job would be a little hard if people didn't talk back, but, I could see where that would have some appeal.
I just love to bring the joys into people's homes.
So let me ask you something. You just made another change. I knew you in another career, and one of the things that was very endearing about Lee was she was in somewhat of a sales field, and
I love marketing.
She was never. She loves marketing, and I'm gonna pick her brain a little bit. She was never obnoxious, but she was persistent, and so. But that also, you had built some comfort there. You'd built a circle there. Why change now?
Well, because I like to explore, and life would be so boring if you felt comfortable. I mean, when you're good at something, you get that in your belt. I want to go the further, and I encouraging people to do that. What you said earlier about gratitude and about, I challenge people to do something daring for the next 7 days. Something that you're not comfortable with, but you think that is something that you love to do, or it's just like,
I don't know, Lee, you're going and flipping the script on me. You're challenging me back now, I give a challenge. I'm comfortable with that, right? Now I got to step out of my box.
But you know what? Sometimes you go outside your realm of comfort. You find a lot more things that you're good at that you not even know.
So let me ask you this. You're making this change, and I know a lot of it came around you solidifying what you did with the TED Talk. You realize how many people you're helping. Is there a degree of that to it? I mean, I don't think it's all about you.
No, it's not about me.
I hope I know you that well.
It's about self-discovery, and when you self-discovery, you understand yourself, then you can help other. And it took me a long time. And writing this memoir here is something that I've been sit on for years and years and years, and I didn't think I was good enough to write. I'm not ready. I give out a lot of excuses, but no.
They've actually put your Jace put up your Facebook
thank
page
you.
so he could see.
Thank you.
But
I would encourage people, if they interested about my story, check out the TEDx talk. B, come back around Thanksgiving. I will have my website ready, just leetran.com. And then you can sign in and opt in and follow me on my book journey, because I am aspire to speak and to bring my message out to help people. And I'm a volunteer with a lot of different nonprofit organizations.
What do you hope to accomplish by making this shift?
I am hoping that I can pull people like me, always sit in the sideline and looking in and wishful that I'm part of it. You can be part of it. Just take action, participate, you be a part of it. And life is so much more colorful when you're a part of it, instead of from outside looking in and say, I wish I'm in it. So that's what my message is. Like, I've been sitting, like, my title of the book is I Did Not Miss a Boat, because I didn't really miss the physical boat to get here. But for many years, I missed so many boats of opportunity because I was so scared. And I'm so afraid of being out there, putting me out there in the arena. Right now, I feel so happy because I get to meet so many people. I get to see so many new things. And my dream is to take that message out and tell people that everybody has a story. Everybody has a history. Don't let that trauma kind of suppress you.
Do you know, that's the coolest thing. I raised my children to understand it. Dad's made a lot of mistakes. Yeah. I've done a lot of crazy things. I've done a lot of cool things. And people a lot ask me why I've done those things. But it's because I have always been afraid to be on my deathbed and be saying, I should have.
Right.
I wish I had.
Right.
You know, I may not have always made the right choice, but I made a choice.
Exactly. And a lot of people say that I have a lot of energy, and I do. I don't know when I sleep, but I constantly think about things, what to do. I wish I can clone 5 of me so I can do more stuff. But the last thing I want is bring that energy to the grave.
Right. Yeah. Oh, good point. I love that.
I don't want to.
Okay, Miss Doris, you need to be taking down Jono Southlake quotes. I like that's number 2. The last thing I want to do is take my energy to the grave. I love that.
I just, I like to spread it around and get a piece of me that is still lasting on instead of
Lee, I love that concept. Your book is going to be amazing. I'm sure that your future talks will be amazing. I encourage everybody to go to TEDx and listen to her talk, and to make sure you have a box of tissues. Lee, this is your camera here. Tell people what you want them to know. Give them one last thought, or tell them how to reach you.
Okay, one last thought.
If you want them to reach you.
Absolutely. Please check back. Like I said, you can go to my Facebook page. It's Distinctive Lee. And why Distinctive Lee? Because Distinctive Designs was my previous company, and I didn't want to change too much, so I just take the design out and put me in there. So that's why Distinctive Lee. My Facebook, my website will be coming up hopefully by Thanksgiving, and you can opt in if you like to listen to the update on my books and what etc. About my speaking gigs and my books, and to follow me. And I'd love to know about you. And my challenge to you is, again, just do something, change your attitude to whatever life have offered you, and then just do something. Do something that make you happy, that's daring to you.
Do it.
Do it. Just do it,
Just
right?
do
It's
it.
like the night advertiser.
Lee, thank you so much. You have been such a great guest. You know, I constantly am reminding people that there's greatness inside them, and then I usually end the show daring them to show their greatness by bringing the greatness out of others. You've obviously done this. I really
thank you. I just
it.
want to say, don't miss the boat.
Look, if you are watching this on social media, you should like, love, and share. If you're not watching this on social media, you should go to our Facebook page, like our Facebook page, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are, and again, I dare you to bring your greatness out. Now, we are, if you know somebody that should be on the show, come on, give me a message, let me know. You know somebody who wants to advertise or sponsor either the station or Jono Southlake, let me know. We can have a great conversation. When we come back, we will be hearing from Jim Purvis. Had a great chance to go out and talk to him, so I'm looking forward to you seeing this. He was quite fascinating, has some cool things to say about his candidacy for Clermont City Council Seat 2. So don't go away. We'll have Jim when we come back. Jono Southlake would like to thank the following sponsors: